Hello, everyone, and
Added my
welcome to
screen, Eddie.
Base East Africa uh, weekly jam sessions. In today's session, we're going to have base accounts being conducted by Christine Kenya, who is our community developer for Base East Africa, and she'll be joined by Anisha David, who is both by DeFi and we're going to learn how to integrate base accounts into web services, whether it's on Web2, Web3, who knows, the future of the web. So I'll give it over to Christian to continue.
Hi, Eddie. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Um, could you please add my screen?
We could zoom a bit so that we can see on the in a clearer way. Yeah, much better.
Um, I hope this is visible enough. Thank you for joining the today's session. The today's session was base accounts, which we are going to dive deep in. Before I go to our agendas of the day, I want to share the links that you will need to use. So if you go to base.org, you click under uh, base builds, then you go to base accounts. This is not the docs. Okay. Just when you go to base.org, click on, I want to get these docs. Sorry, just a moment. I think sharing the link will be much easier. Yes, so now we can dive in the agenda. Base accounts, we are going to understand why and how they work. So what are base accounts, why, and how they work. So what are base accounts? So basically, base accounts are smart wallet backed accounts. We all accustomed to externally owned address accounts, that is EOAs. That is MetaMask. I think everyone who's really interacted with MetaMask or probably has heard of an external extension wallet called MetaMask. So in MetaMask, the wallet you create is an externally owned account. This means the wallet is controlled, the wallet address is controlled by the wallet. So for base accounts, they are smart contract wallet-backed accounts. That means traditional wallets are controlled by wallets, or technically they're not smart contracts, but base accounts, which are smart wallets, are smart contracts. They're controlled. It's an address. It's a smart contract address, so that means it is controlled by smart contract, and it has more functionality and custom functionality as compared to EOAs. So that is base accounts. So base accounts are smart wallet backed accounts that give, so they are not only smart wallet backed accounts, they give users the universal sign in option. That is, means with this wallet, you sign in with passkeys. There is the one tap payment, that is you make payments in the account layer. And then there's private profile vault, that is opt-in to share email, phone, shipping addresses, and more. Then teaching. So this one address this one address can be used across 9 now EVM networks, and more are being integrated. So it has the flexibility of cross-chain, and it's a smart contract backed wallet. So that is what is base accounts. So why use them over other accounts? So first, I will start with wallet problems. We already have EUAs, and what is the problem with these EUAs? For example, you have a DApp and you want users to use your DApp. With traditional crypto wallets, example of MetaMask, user will want to use your DApp. So if they click connect wallet and they do not have a MetaMask wallet, they have to download a MetaMask wallet. They have to write down 12-word seed phrase. They have to buy ETH to pay gas, and then now connect to your DApp. If they can't do any of these previous steps, then they will not be able to interact with your DApp, because they have to pay for gas fee. They have to keep the 12 seed phrase words to keep their wallets safe, and they have to have an external app, which is MetaMask, outside your DApp. And then they sign transaction and pay gas fees. That is the flow, and it's quite a long process, which discourages some of these people. Assuming your first time interacting with the internet, going to Facebook.what, you had to download an external account and keep a password for that external account. You still have a password for your existing account, your Facebook account. Keep a password for your external account, and then you have to top up that external account, and now that's where you can create an account on Facebook. You can imagine that could discourage a lot of people from really using the internet. So this really is a long flow that is the biggest challenge we have to mass adoption. So base account solution, it's a very simple. User wants to access your DApp. So it's just touch face, ID, fingerprint, password on their phone. They've authenticated because passkeys exist on your device. So that, and they start using your DApp immediately. They don't have to download external accounts, keep 12-word seed phrase. So this is the problem. This is the challenge. Why should you use? This is just to show the solution. The why question is answered by what does base account offer to you as a developer. You get to have universal sign-in. That is one passkey, works across every base enabled app. So for every DApp that is as base app enabled, you can use one passkey across all those accounts. So you have one DApp that is an e-commerce, you're buying stuff. You have another DApp that is you're going to do stake swapping, or you're just doing you're borrowing loan from that other DApp. You have another DApp that is a social app. So you can use one passkey across all those dApps. So that's removes the cumbersome of you having a password and a username for every app you're interacting with. Then there's one tap payments, that is low friction USDC payment built into the account layer. So what do we mean by this? A single pay function. You just use a single pay function and pass parameters to receive payments or to make payments in your DApp. So the whole process of having to call transfer, all those functions, you have now one tap payment. And then there's a private profile vault that is opt-in to share. So you can have email, phone number, shipping addresses, and many other personal details shared in this sort of a profile you're having with your wallet. So it's like sign in with Base, the way you sign in with Google, and then you can share your email. So that means you use your email for authentication for all that. So that's like a private profile vault. Then there's multi-chain support. So as I mentioned, that one address, you can use it across 9 EVM networks. So yeah, I think we answered the why use the base account. So I think now I really hope you add your laptops, because we said today's session we're going to be coding hands on deck, and that's why I shared the link for you to follow along. You can follow along with the link, or you can follow along with what you're doing. I would advise you follow along with what you're doing. So it is first we set up the project. So there's one thing I really struggled with as a dev. Let me mention this before I explain. Most of the documentations have a way of you creating the starter code with the library you want to use. But what if I already have an existing project and I want to add that dependency or that library? So first, if you're using a already existing React app, close this. So if you're using an already, I hope this is visible enough. If it's not visible, please inform me.
No, I think it is.
And ask questions, don't get lost. So okay, so let's go ahead and do. If you already have an existing React application, you just install the SDK. So if you're using npm, pnpm, or yarn, you just do. So in this case, it's already installed, but you can just do it. So you say yarn add, and then you add the dependencies. So you have base. This is the account, the SDK. So the SDK, I will explain later what SDK is abstracting from you as a dev. This is for the account for account creation. So this is the SDK dependency you use, and then there is also one for UI customization. So I hope we could. I really hope you're following along and doing it. So this is for if you already have an existing React account, you just do React app, you just do this to your React application, and you have the SDK, and you go ahead and import the SDK and use it. For the if you want to start a new React project with base accounts, you just I don't think you can see this part of my screen. Just a moment. uh, I just add my screen, Edie. Yes. So you can my screen. I will just go ahead and do it here. I will create new brush, and yeah. So for those who have who want to create a new fresh account, same way you do npx create React app, here we will do yarn create React app base. So we will have React app, this is to create the normal boilerplate code or folder structure for React. Then we add base account, quick start. So this is to give you the starter code, with the dependencies that you need to use this account already installed. So no. Sorry. This is the name. If I do that, I already have that existing. So let me say tests app. Okay, so yeah, we have capital in the naming. So let's test app. Yeah, so this is going to create a React app with a base account SDK or dependencies already installed. So you can either go, if you already have a project that has React, you just install the SDK in your, or you install the dependencies. If you want to start with the starter code, you just do yarn create React app and then provide the name of the app. So I think I should give 2 minutes for people to catch up with us, whoever is coding along, to catch up. And if you have any questions so far, before we start looking at the implementation flow, please ask. So 2 minutes for everyone to catch up with us. The 2 minutes I'm giving is for my installation to finish. So I hope yours is equally fast. And I would advise you can either use NPM or Yarn, but I really advise you use Yarn. Yarn is faster than NPM. Yeah, and mine is done. So we have success created base account test app in my directory. So you start the project like this, you build, you test. So I will go ahead and go to the project that is so you see, sorry, I need to share my entire screen. Yeah. So we created the app, got into it, and this is the new React app. So this the folder structure is just the normal React folder structure. You have source, which has app.css, app.js, index.js, the logo. It's the normal React structure folder, and when you go into app, it's the normal entry code for React. So if I run this, if I say yarn start, so this opens. Yeah, you can see this is running. So I think so far we're together. At that point, we want to go ahead and start implementing the SDK. Okay, I hope we're together. We can go ahead and start.
Yeah, following along. You can just proceed since it's already recorded on X and
Yes.
YouTube, so people can always play back.
Okay, so I will continue with the flow. So at this point, we are now doing the core implementation. So we have run the starter code. Same flow that is here is the same flow you're having, but mine is more explained. So it's the same flow. If you missed a point and you want to catch up, go to the uh, the URL I shared and catch up. So this is just the starter code with React. So now we go to the uh, technical, the flow implementation. So we first initialize the SDK. I was to explain what the SDK is abstracting from you. I think once we're done, we're going to implement to see what the SDK is abstracting from you as a developer. So the SDK initialization. So we configure the app with we configure app with metadata. So I will explain this code, and then we're going to go ahead and implement it in the new this. So I should clear everything. Sorry. Sorry for that. So yes, I am going to explain this code and then we're going to implement it. So if you're following along, just delete everything that is in your app.js and let me explain the code before we go ahead and do it. So first, of course, we import React and use state to, we import React and use state to manage this across the component. Then we install. We import the create base account SDK, the pay, the get payment status from base of account. So this is the first step. We go ahead. Yeah, we're ready. Let me check if we did. If we package the JSON. Yes, we didn't do the install. Yes, after when we created this, I realized we didn't install the account and base org UI. So just go ahead and do that. Okay, so as it does the installation, let me continue explaining. So the create base account SDK, this is what you use to create the account, as we will see it below here. Close this. This is what you use to initialize the SDK, the create base account SDK. You pass the metadata of the app in the create base account SDK. That is the name of the app and the app logo. You pass them. So this is the metadata of the application. And then the pay is to initialize payment. The get payment status is to get the status of the payment. Then we have the sign in with this is from account UI. So I told you there's account and then there's account UI from base org. So the account UI, we are importing the React one. So sign in with base button and base pay button. So we won't be customizing our own buttons. We have this from account UI. So I think this is done. So we can do the installation, the importing. So first we import React. Just React. We import this when we need it. And then import create base account SDK from base up. Let me disable this. Okay. Then we also import the, no, let's just use the SDK only.
Could you please zoom a bit? It's not very legible.
Sorry, just give me a minute. I need to disable this. Okay, I think we're good now. So we've imported the create base account SDK. So now we want to, the first agenda, I was just explaining the code. The first agenda on our agendas was to initialize the SDK with app metadata. We've already installed the create base account SDK, which we're using to initialize the SDK. So this, we're initializing the SDK. Sorry for this. So SDK is equals to create, then we pass the parameters. The two parameters passing, if we go to this create SDK account and check the parameters that we need to provide. So we need to provide the app name, that is the application name, then the application logo, URL, that is the logo that is used. Let me show. If we provide it, it is the logo that we use here. So, sorry, so if you provide the app logo, it is the metadata app, so you use it here. Normally, the way you initialize this in the app is, I think, in the app, in the normal flow. So this is the 5 icon. So you provide the app logo URL and the app chain IDs.
I think I lost your audio. Maybe it's connection.
You can.
I can't hear you.
You can.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, sure. So I was explaining, let me go back. So I said we have parameters we have to pass to the create base account SDK. So I went to the base account SDK, then went to the app metadata. So you seeing it's partial since the app chain IDs is optional. So the array of chains you app supports, that is, if you leave it not specified, it supports all the chains that are supported by a base account. If you provide chain IDs, you limit it to the chains you've provided. So let's come back and provide the cups. Yeah. Okay. So app name. So this is to provide the name of the app. So let's say first EA something funny. Whenever I'm nervous, I always type the wrong things.
Into your.
Sorry?
No, I'm saying, don't we all? I mean, it happens quite a lot. So.
So then app logo. If we leave this unspecified, we're going to use the normal React logo. From the base project, I had used the base logo, which is not, let's see. Yeah, this one. it disappears. Let's see if it's going to work. So we copy this base logo, then we use it here as our app URL. Sorry. Yeah. So this, we have initialized our SDK. So this is how we initialize our SDK. There was the third parameter, which I said if you provide, there's the app chain ID, which is an array. You provide the chains you want your dApp to support. You can leave it open to support all the dApps, or if you provide it, you limit your SDK to the provided dApps. So for us, we're just going to leave it open. So far, we've done our first agenda, which was to initialize the SDK with metadata. So the next step is authentication. So sign in for user address. So we use now the SDK to sign in. So let me explain the sign in flow. This is a distraction. So this function that handles sign in calls the wallet connect using the provider. So you use the SDK, you get provider, you request for the wallet connect. So there's this, the method we are calling from the contract is wallet connect. There's the ETH request account method. The reason we are calling wallet connect is because we are signing in to an app with our wallet address. We're not requesting for the account. The normal method we call when we are connecting to wallet is ETH request account, but the wallet connect is to sign in with your wallet address. So you call that method, and then you set so forgot to handle this state. So for the function, you have to set is signed in and set signed in. This is to keep track of whether the user is signed in or not. So once you do the sign in by calling this method, get the provider with SDK, then you call wallet connect. When successful, you set the sign in as true. If not, you catch the error. So this is just a simple function to handle sign in. I would say this is very close to what NextAuth does. NextAuth. So if you really understand how NextAuth works, this is just a function, handle signing, the way handle signing in NextAuth works. But this one, you're signing in with your wallet address, or technically how handle signing works when you're doing signing with Google. So we're going to have this function. So in here, if you're following along, we come back. Sorry, if you're following, sorry, I forgot. No one informed me I'm doing this outside the function. So first function app, and yes. So then we export it. Okay, so we come back here and we provide this. So to track the sign in, so we have is signed in, which is a boolean, and set is signed in. I think is equals to use state. So now we import use state and we pass this as false. So once the app is rendered, the sign in is false. So import use state from React. Okay. So then we now have our function which handle sign in. wait in that function. Sorry, yeah, so you can have async, yeah. So first thing, we will have a wait. We use the SDK. Then from the SDK, we have so many. So if when the SDK is initialized, if you over the SDK, you see the functions you can call. So there is get provider to get the provider, sub account to create, I think, sub accounts. I haven't interacted with this yet. Don't know why it's not providing the full. Yeah, so get provider, sub account. So this is create account, get account, add owner. We're going to try them. I've not interacted with some of the functions. So we're going to go ahead and get provider. Then we're going to so we get provider and then we request for the method wallet connects. So yeah. So the get provider is to get the RPC provider URL or the provider you'd be setting if you were doing connect to MetaMask. And there's a provider you set the flow of connecting to MetaMask. There's a place you set the provider. So then click request, then to methods. I'm not writing my things. Request, is it a function? No, yes, it's a function where we pass the method we're requesting, yes. And we said we're requesting for wallet connect. I explained the difference between wallet connect and ETH request account. So yeah, so this we get the we do this, and if it connects, then we are signed in. If this connects, if we get a true response, we signed in. So we set signed in as true. Yeah, and then here we should have used try and catch just in case it fails. Try and catch. So we provide this and then we console log. Yes, so this handle sign-in function is already created. So we should now have a button where we can use this handle sign-in. Remember I said we don't have to create a button. We have, so let's get where this is used. So this is used in this function, in this button, which is called sign in with Base. You provide the settings, some of the parameters that the button has, and then on click, you now call the function which handles sign in. So I said we don't have to create this button. So we're going, this button is imported from account UI React. So we're going to come back to our flow and import the button. Sign in base button. So yeah, then I don't think we're going to style to provide all this styling. We just want to see the button working So I don't think we're going to provide all this. We're just going to have a div and a button. So we don't have any styling. So we're just going to have and then inside here we're going to have the sign in with base. So before we add this, we should go to the sign in with base and see what we should provide. So there's a line which is either left or center, and then there's variant, which is either solid or transparent. There is color scheme, which is a light, dark, and system. Then there's on click. So you have 4 parameters you should pass. So let's start with align is the positioning of is the text alignment within within the button. And then we have variant. It's either we want the color to be solid or we want it to be, for variant we have solid and transparent. So if we do transparent, and then we have the third parameter was color scheme. I hope we don't have to do the styling, so we can say dark. Then color scheme is providing dark, light, and system. So if you say dark, it takes the dark mode. If you say light, it takes the light mode. If you use system, it takes the color scheme of the system. If you set your system to dark, it takes dark or light, depending on your settings. And the other one, our most important, is on click, where we call the handle sign in. So when you click this button, it calls the function handle sign in, and then you're signed in to the app. So so far I think we've had a button. So this is just to check if the user is signed in and provide a message or not. So we might not have very good styling in this case. So but let's run our application and see. I hope everyone is here with us following. So we're going to do yarn start. So how do we know how to run our application? As it runs, go to package.json. You have a place for scripts. So this starts, the start starts the application, the build builds the application, this does the task. I think we're getting an error, which is about WAGMI. Let's check what's the issue. I saw someone made a video saying getting errors is the best way of learning how to code. Is it true? Is it true, Elisha? So we get this error. It's provided in the documentation that if you get this error, you should install WAGMI core. So this WAGMI core is what is used in the account UI. So in our account UI, if you have interacted with OnChainKit, OnChainKit works with WAGMI. So this sounds like an embedded OnChainKit within the SDK. So we use WAGMI core. So that's why WAGMI is cannot be found. So you just add yarn, add WAGMI core. So this should work, yes. I have to restart this. Just run this. Okay, let me just restart this.
Can you just maybe you should play and restart your server?
Yeah, I'm trying to okay. So many warnings. So let's do that. I don't know why it opens a new React application every time. So I think we have an error in our code. Object not valid as React children. Let's see. Function app, SDK, sign in, give. Okay, where is this? We're missing something. Which I really, oh yeah, I know. We're missing something. I don't think that could be the issue. Not yet. This, not a React children. Okay. I'm not valid as React. I found object with types, props. Render a collection of children. Use an array instead. Am I missing something? Let me look at the warnings. Maybe. No, this is just. Help me debug this. What are we missing? I bet this. Let me remove this and say use an array instead. Objects are not valid as React children.
Did you restart your server?
Yes, I did restart my server.
Okay.
And I don't know what we are missing.
Let me see line 6 on this particular code. No, the code you just left. I need to see the line number 6. Okay, go back to your code. Okay, it's the same.
This
You know
can
what? Delete your node. Yeah, delete your node modules and your yarn log file and try installing afresh. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Let's try installing again. Okay, as that continues installing, we can continue trying to understand this. So all these other code you're seeing over here, these are just settings. Toggle between dark mode and light mode. Here, dark is equals to theme and dark. Like all this is just styling, CSS styling. We have this styling here for the status and for the button. There's this for the button. The styling is what has been used here in the button group. So I just picked the button only. So the styling is normal CSS styling actually. So the handle, I don't want to do handle before we test styling. Let's try to do this again. Then it starts. Sending is a sign that never ends. This is just a warning.
Let me read the warning on your terminal.
The warning says is signed in. That we have provided is signed in, but we have not used it. Okay, I can use it just down here actually, but I don't think that is the issue. We provide a message if we're signed in. We provide a message. If we're not, the user signs in. Check that. Yes. If we are signed in, we provide a message. So yeah, okay, yes. Sorry. So if we're signed in, let's show this div. This is not going to be styled. Signed in.
Can you scroll up on your terminal? Can you scroll up to the first warning?
They're just warnings, and I also experienced them running the same code from the documentation. I have to stop this and run the server again so you can see the warnings are fresh. Failed to pass source map. No such file or directory. Base pay account. Failed to source map. These are warnings of I have not even used the base pay button yet. Oh yeah, I see where the issue is. I think yes. So let's remove the transparent. We provided and say solid. We can see here it's solid. Sign in with base, but we need to style this button to look like a button. So let's see div. And provide a div here. Let's steal the styling from this. We have more to cover. We can't do styling, so let's just steal these stylings over here. And I want to use this, the group one. So I hope I didn't provide more errors. Oh, it's because I didn't provide the toggle tag. No, I did. Get set theme is not defined. Oh yeah, I didn't do this. So here we are setting the theme. It's set theme, so theme, then set theme. That, I think, yes, this works now. I think the application, this styling part, container, the button works. I want to steal these stylings from here so we can see the button at the center. But these are just stylings. These really normal CSS styling you do. So let me close these divs. Yes, I think all are closed. Yes, now. Why? So here we define theme on the dark instead of providing dark directly. Yes. I think this works for now. You can see the button. I want to make it blue so you can see it. I think that size medium. Anyway, since you can already see the button, so let's try to see it working. So click sign in, provides it opens. So initially, if you were to, this is happening in your DAB. This is the connect button that wallet you have in your DAB, but in this case, we're using it for login. So this is the login button in your application. So it opened this. Let me try. So sign in opens. So you either sign in or create an account. Since we want to see the flow of creating an account, we're going to click create an account and then call it EA community base account, and then continue. And then you can either use password manager to manage the passkeys or your phone. I prefer using my phone. So I will get this QR code that I can scan and authenticate from my phone, or you can use the password manager. Either way works. So for this, I will scan the QR code and then authenticate it from my phone. So this is going to create a passkey that is tied to my phone. So every time I want to log into that DApp, I authenticate from my phone, either using, sorry, something went wrong. So every time I want to log in, I authenticate it from my phone. Password saved. I think the phone one is, let's try the email. Okay, I think I already have a passkey. That's why it's not creating one. So let me just sign in. Yes, I think I have. My first base account. Okay, so I can use this. So I'd already created an account. So I will sign into that account. But the flow, if you go through the flow of creating an account, so you see I had signed into an account initially when testing, that is called Fast EA community-based account. So confirm and signed in, you can see here. So it's checking the status and it is providing that it is signed in. So this is the flow of how you sign in with base account to your application. I think I will explain a flow somewhere where I said how it works. So far we have tested it, we have seen it working. So I want to explain this flow and I hope it's going to be, yes. So this is the high-level flow of what happens. So this is what I was to explain what SDK abstract from you. So we have seen you have signed into an application without a password, without a username, just an address, just a base account, which is tied to an address. So which you use passkeys. So either you use your fingerprint or your Face ID or password manager. So you use one of those ways to authenticate when signing in with base account. So this is the flow. So this is what happens when I click that sign in button with sign in with base. So this is not going to work anymore because it already signed in. So when I click that as a user, this is what happens. So I click on the browser. There's the flow where we get auth nuance from the app server and then return the nuance. Then we call Wallet Connect, which is sign in with Ethereum. This is in, I think, EIP. I'm not sure, but there's an upgrade. Actually, I read it somewhere. Maybe you're going to see it. So Wallet Connect function.
The NFC is reference there at the bottom.
No, this is the ERC.
Okay. Oh, it's a new one.
Yeah, this is, yeah. So so Wallet Connect, which is sign in with Ethereum, you send the nuance to the SDK. Then the SDK calls the account, now the smart contract, which is Wallet Connect function with the parameters passed. And then the user approved the connection. And then you get address and a message signed from the account. That is the smart contract account. And then you send, the SDK sends back the address, message, and signature to the browser. And then you verify address. So this is what has been indicated here. Base account signature include RC6492 wrapped, so they can verify even before the wallet contract is deployed. So this is verify, then you return the session token or the JWT to the browser. So you can see it's a whole authentication flow, which is very close to what happens in the Web2 authentication flow. Just that we're signing in with Ethereum. So we're using nuance, which is like the unique number, or let me say that. So yeah, so this is what the SDK is abstracting from you. If the SDK was not in place, you will have to do calling the contract, the Wallet Connect method directly from the smart contract. So yes, so that is the high-level flow of how the authenticating users really works. If you look at this function over here, it is the nuance, getting the nuance. Here you initiate the SDK, so no configuration needed for like default. Then you connect, then account. So the method is Wallet Connect. The parameters is a version. Capabilities is sign in with Ethereum, and a chain ID, which is, this represents its mainnet. And then you get the address. So technically, this is the flow that the SDK is abstracting from you. I don't want to get so much into the details. Please give me a minute. I am getting a knock at my door. Yeah, I am back. Sorry for that distraction. Thank you for the music, Eddie. So I think so far we have seen the sign in with this, and this is what we were to do today. This is literally was the agenda, but there was more on our agenda, which I am going to roughly walk over, not going into details. We were to do payment integration, where we were just to call pay with, where we were to call just a function pay and pass the address. So I'll just explain this function, not go deep into it. So there's the base pay button from the account UI, which is calling this function, which is handle payment. This handle payment is one tap USDC payment using the pay function. So you call the pay function, you pass this ID is what you're going to use to track the status. So we're having an ID, then we call pay and pass amount to the recipient address, and then if it testnet, we provide true. We can leave it, we can omit it for mainnet or provide false for mainnet. So the payment ID is used to track the status of the payment. So this ID we set here is used to track the status of the payment. So we set the payment ID to this ID, and then we get status using so we set payment status to this, and then in the cache we set we set the payment status to failed. I'm trying to rush because our time is over. And then this is to check the status using the ID we stored. We check if the ID exists. If it doesn't exist, we say no payment to this ID that has been initiated. Then we try to get status. So we get status. This get status is a function from account. So the pay and get status are from the base org account. We get status using the ID and then set the status. So this is just the payment flow. I don't think we're going to implement that because of time. I have some few walkthrough over here. So the authentication flow on traditional, this is already something we've already seen. On normal app, you have to use email and password. Then the server hashes your password. If you do Web2 authentication, you already know this. So the server hashes the password and then compares it to the stored hash and then authenticates the user. So the server creates a session token if the
lost
hash.
Your audio. I can't hear you anymore. Can you check?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you clearly. I think it is internet.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh,
so
okay.
So the server creates a session token once the hash that has been generated and the stored hash match, then the user gets authenticated. So there's security risk here. If you use your password, like most of us use their passwords across 4 different applications, or probably you just have that one password since 2018, which is like your high school the registration number, administration number. So it's a weak and common, and you reuse them across so many applications. So you open up to attacks or the risk. But for the flow where we have base accounts, so the user clicks sign in with base account request for nuance from the server. This is the flow which I explained on the diagram. Then the SDK creates a CWA message with the nuance server. CWA message, CWA is, let's just ask AI to explain so that I don't confuse you, because I also asked that.
So, question.
Yes.
What are the possible scenarios we can use this account? So, the simplest and also to the most complex. What's the range of how we can apply this, what we have learned?
Sorry?
what's the range, and what are the use cases or areas we can apply the account. So from the simplest use case to the most complex.
Anywhere you need your users to sign in, instead of using the Connect wallet, which will need them to have an external account in an external app, or anywhere you use sign-in, you can use base sign-in in place of that. So where you connect to wallets, you can use base sign-in for that. Where you do normal password and username sign-in, I would say this is mostly where you want your users to make payments in the application. So mostly for like social apps that include tipping or that includes receiving payments, you can use sign-in with Base. E-commerce platforms that requires your customers to make payment or for you to receive payment, you can use Base sign-in for that. So from your simplest application, that's a simple to-do list or a simple testing app you have, you can use sign-in with Base, to large-scale product like e-commerce or a social account, social DApp, or financial, anywhere you want to make payments or you need people to get authenticated, generally is the biggest. Sign-in with Base is another option of sign-in, the way you have sign-in with Google. So you can use it where anywhere you need to do sign-in of your users, or anywhere you need to authenticate your users. This one-tap USB-C payment, it doesn't require you to do authentication actually. You can use it without the authentication. You can use it without the sign-in. This handle payment, I think we're going to explore it widely maybe on our next session, but it is very similar to X402 Pay. X402 Pay is like receiving payment over HTTP requests. But this one is an SDK, which is actually easier to use on the front end, because the X402 is more of making payment, making your HTTP request payable. So you have payable HTTP requests, so users can pay using USDC to an HTTP request. In this case is, for example, you charge your application or the service you're providing, you charge per API call. You can use X402 payment to make your calls payable. So you charge using USDC for every API call. So this is very similar to that. The handle payment and the X402 is very similar. It's like a payment over HTTP request. This one is a one-tap USDC payment. So the pay function is more, the one on the SDK is more applicable for your front-end applications. For your server applications that you need to receive or make payments using stablecoin, that is USDC, you could explore X402 Pay. Anyway, that's going so deep. I think your question is answered, Edie.
So I was thanks for the clarification.
I was to explain what is Siwe as we saw it sign in with Ethereum, as we saw it in the flow of where the app requests for nuance from the server, and the SDK creates a sign-in with Ethereum message with the nuance. So the sign-in with Ethereum is a standard authentication method. This is the EIP I was talking about, the EIP 4361 that allows users to authenticate with web application using the Ethereum wallet instead of traditional username and password. So it contains cryptographic signatures with the Ethereum wallet, so it's safer. The self-custodial identity. So there is nowhere your password or your username is being stored. So it is self-custodial in this case, that your passkeys are naturally your seed phrase, but you have a social recovery method, which we'll explore later. This is very wide topic, or you can explore more from the documentation. Then there's the standard message format that users sign with their private key and include security mechanisms like nuance and timestamp to prevent replay attack. Another thing I have to mention about this, it is domain, domain bond. Yeah. So your sign-in session cannot be used in another domain. That is, once you sign in to example.com, your sign-in cannot be used in another domain. I'm not a security person. I think someone in security could explain that further. But that's a security benefit where you have no passwords that can be stored. The signature is unique and domain bound. Then you can use biometric authentication or technically passwords on your phone authentication. Then there's the open standard, the EIP 43, that is signing with Ethereum compatibility. So yeah, we have completed our agenda. As much as we have not looked at handle payment, I will just run this code, which has everything to show how handle payment works. So, yeah, I'm so used to Yandev. Yes, can use a different port. So this is the one we have created ours, and this is what base. I just copied the content of the starter, this code, and just changed the recipient ID to a recipient ID mine. So we're going to go to that. We're signing in with base. Same address as here, because I'm using them on the same with the same account. So technically that's like your email. So when I click base pay, I hope I funded this account. So I don't know why it keeps failing.
Christine. I think
but I think so far.
Christine, I think we can pause at that and wait for feedback and get our audience to implement the code. So we proceed on Friday, but then in the meantime we can share the code, the GitHub that we have on Based East Africa. So I think that was really great. Thank you for kindly taking us through and showing us how we can sign in with this. And yeah, so let's see also what the community is looking for. Maybe you can brief us on what we should expect on Friday.
Sorry,
Eddie? Yeah. I'm saying maybe you can brief us on what we expect on Friday.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the session. Give us feedback, and we're going to have. I think we're going to provide the community where the GitHub community organization where you can get the code. And on Friday, I think we're going to handle the payment part, the handle payment, which we have not done. And then since this is very similar to X402 payment, we're going to combine this, the handle payment in the SDK, and explore more what the SDK can do actually. The base account SDK. We have more on the guides. There's accept payments, sponsor gas, pay gas in ERC20, improve your UX. We're going to handle continuation of the base account and also attach of X402 pay, because it's how the SDK is doing it, but on the server side. You can study ahead so you can have questions, and everything we really are going to go through is on the base documentation. Yeah, back to you, Eddie. Eddie?
Yeah, so I'm actually at an airport and the thing was very loud. So then, thanks for hosting us and taking us through. Thanks for the session. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm looking forward to meeting you on Friday. And yeah, let's keep building on this. See you guys. Bye. And tune in to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, Alicia, for joining us. I'm looking forward to engaging you. Maybe we should extend by 20 minutes next time. Bye, guys. All right.